Hey everyone, quick announcement. There's going to be an informal channel meetup at Barcade in Philadelphia this Saturday at 5 p.m. For more details and updates, go to my Twitter, Instagram, or the channel's community page on YouTube. And I hope to see you there. This is Francesca Fiorentini, a comedian and host of AJ Plus's Newsbroke, brought to you by Al Jazeera, a state-run news agency entirely funded by the government of Qatar. Newsbroke's videos include If the Economy is Great, Why Aren't We?, How Trump Plans to Keep America White, and one about lowering the voting age to 16. And that's great, because who doesn't love it when foreign governments try to influence American democracy?
What's the real goal behind Trump's anti-immigration policies? Besides Stephen Miller getting back at the Mexican kids who called him pinche gringo in high school, and when he asked them what it meant, they said beach body, and so he kept calling himself that for years?
Oh, and they say female comedians aren't funny.
I'm Francesca Fiorentini, and in this episode of Newsbroke, we're looking at how this administration is systematically trying to un-brown America.
What?
And that doesn't just mean mass deportation. It means ensuring brown people are forever excluded from democracy.
So does that mean when President Obama deported 3 million people that he was trying to un-brown America?
This administration and the Republicans who support it are trying to stop immigrants of color from becoming citizens.
I seem to recall Trump wanting to give 1.8 million Dreamers a path to citizenship, so if he wants to stop immigrants of color from becoming citizens, he's really bad at it.
Trump's immigration policy is like Monet's water lilies, except they're just turds floating in an undrained swamp.
Okay, to save time and brain cells, I'm going to try and refrain from showing you Francesca's jokes.
So to recap where we are in this ring of hell, ICE arrests have gone up by 33% since 2016, and ICE has held an average of over 42,000 people each day in 2018, the highest average since 2001.
And what Francesca isn't telling you is that arrests are higher largely because illegal border crossings are way up. For fiscal year 2019, Southwest border apprehensions during the first 11 months have hit 811,000. And in September 2019, 41% of those being detained are convicted criminals or have pending criminal charges. But remember folks, locking up criminals from other countries is unbrowning.
Under the travel ban against Muslim-majority countries, the State Department has rejected more than 37,000 visa applications.
I should point out that of the 51 Muslim-majority countries in the world, only 5 of them fall under the travel ban, and not because of religion, but because of terrorism-related issues.
Visa denials have also skyrocketed, specifically among Mexicans, Caribbeans, and South Asians.
Francesca is sourcing a Politico article claiming that between October 2018 and July 2019, that the State Department denied 5,343 immigrant visa applications to Mexican nationals. It also shows the number of denied visa applications from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. Well, that doesn't sound right. These applicants were denied because it was determined that they would likely become a public charge and require government benefits like Medicaid, food stamps, and Section 8 housing vouchers. Now, while the article shows the number of denied visa applications, it doesn't cite the number of approved applications for each country. And that might be helpful to put the number of denials in context, but that would have required extra work, and I'm sure the reporter was on a deadline, so I guess we'll never know. Or we could go to travel.state.gov and look it up ourselves. So from October 2018 to July 2019, while there were 53,000 denied applications for Mexico, 47,000 applications were approved. And for fiscal year 2018, more immigrant visas were issued to Mexicans than nationals from any other country in the world. As for the other countries in the article, in fiscal year 2018, the number of approved immigration visas from these countries outweigh the number of applications denied on public charge grounds. From these 5 countries alone, the US accepted 119,000 new immigrants. So much for the unbrowning of America.
And to further divide the American people, the administration has introduced the so-called public charge rule, which denies green cards to people who have used social programs or might use them in the future, even though undocumented immigrants are already barred from receiving any public assistance.
Do you know what else undocumented immigrants are barred from receiving? Green cards. Francesca is conflating green card holders, people who received permission to come to the United States, with illegal immigrants who didn't.
Also, the administration wants to eliminate family-based visa programs except for spouses or minors.
So as an immigrant, I can bring my wife and children, but I can't bring my brothers and sisters and cousins and aunts and uncles and grandparents? F you, America.
Stop all refugees from entering the U.S.
That's right.
Turkey has taken in over 3 million Syrian refugees, while the U.S. has taken in 18,000.
Taken in. Turkey didn't have a choice in the matter, as Syria is directly on their southern border. And currently, the Turkish government is working on sending 1 million Syrian refugees back to Syria, as well as removing about 500,000 unregistered Syrian refugees from Istanbul.
And is even thinking of changing the Constitution's 14th Amendment, which guarantees birthright citizenship.
The president and his administration can't change the Constitution. Only Congress and 2/3 of the states can do that. This is what happens when you hire comedians to talk about politics. President Trump could sign an executive order, however, trying to end or restrict the right to citizenship of persons born to undocumented immigrants and visitors with non-immigrant visas. Of course, this would instantly be challenged in court and is a long shot, but it's possible that under the right circumstances, the Supreme Court might have something to say about it.
It's time to begin moving toward a merit-based immigration system, one that admits people who are skilled, who want to work.
Okay, those who have skills and contribute and...
About 680 migrants were rounded up at 7 food processing plants in 6 cities in Mississippi.
are f***ing working.
Illegally.
That raid, targeting mostly Latino workers, was also on the first day of school in Mississippi.
I did a whole video about the raids. The people arrested were all in the United States illegally, were working illegally, and were in possession of stolen identification. Half of those detained had been previously arrested and had final orders of removal, which they ignored. Francesca's argument is that these people should be allowed to work in the United States because they have skills and contribute. And while that might be true, since these people entered the country illegally, the United States did not have the opportunity to make that determination.
I better see MAGA chuds getting up at 5 in the morning to pull out chicken gizzards for $7 an hour. Suddenly feels like a skill, huh?
According to this news report, a job hanging chickens at the Koch Foods plant starts at $12 an hour. With that said, I'd rather work in a food plant for $7 an hour than sell my soul to a news network run by a foreign government that has some of the worst human rights violations on the planet. I have scruples. And if you think Franny is going to make a jokey video about how Qatar's migrant labor force are essentially modern-day slaves, well, don't hold your breath.
Wanting to switch to a merit-based immigration system is a thin veil for racism that also directly discriminates against the working poor, because it's utter hypocrisy that immigrants are being punished instead of companies who hire undocumented people to be able to keep paying crap wages that no citizen would want.
So Francesca is mad at companies who break the law by hiring undocumented workers, but at the same time shows nothing but sympathy for undocumented workers who are breaking the law. You can't have it both ways. You have to be mad at both.
A merit-based immigration system is a thin veil for racism.
No, it isn't, sweetie. Take, for example, Senator Amy Klobuchar talking about immigrants at the first Democratic presidential debate.
70 of our Fortune 500 companies are headed up by people that came from other countries. 25% of our U.S. Nobel laureates were born in other countries. We have a situation right now where we need workers in our fields and in our factories. We need them to start small businesses.
And what she is calling for requires a merit-based immigration system, because bringing poor people into the United States isn't going to magically turn them into successful businessmen and women.
But this isn't just about cruelty. Republicans are running a larger race-based political play.
But what about the Democrats' race-based political play?
Y bienvenidos a Texas.
Este es racismo y es sencillo.
Cada votante necesitamos. La situación ahora es inaceptable.
Nah, not the same thing.
We know that by the year 2044, non-Hispanic white people will no longer be a majority.
Sorta. According to Census Bureau projections, non-Hispanic whites will be the majority minority, making up 49.7% of the country. Also, no one cares.
The Washington Post estimated that even if Trump got his way on limiting brown immigrants, he'd only be pushing back the date at which white people become a minority by a maximum of 5 years.
Again, the Trump administration is not trying to limit brown immigrants. It's attempting to limit the amount of poor immigrants admitted into the country. But Francesca's suggestion that only brown immigrants can be poor is kind of a problem.
So yes, our immigration policy is cruel and inhumane.
Because we don't let in every single person that wants to live here? Give me a break, you sellout. Anyway, thanks for watching, sharing, and hitting that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, follow me on Twitter and Instagram and check out these videos that you may have missed. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you all next time.